know how adamant I was about fixing all of this and making this right. CoffeeZilla series came out, and I called you guys, and I said, I'm making a statement. I don't give a f***. Yep. I spent days writing this thing.
Scam.
You are
drama.
tuning in just now, and you missed the tail end of December. A lot had happened. I believe the last Boys Only episode we were on, I said some pretty harsh things to George about his beliefs and religion overall that people were unhappy about. And the following week, a YouTuber named CryptoZoo made a 3-part series that he had spent a year making called Investigating Logan Paul's Biggest Scam, that caught a lot of traction. He put a lot of work into it, and it was a very well-made series. So today I'll be going on record for the first time in over a year to talk about the debacle that became CryptoZoo, and then what we're doing to move forward. If you have not seen the video that I also released in tandem today with this episode, it's essentially a statement that I made about the scam allegations and the scam accusations, because that's some pretty serious shit. I take that very seriously. So if you have not watched that video, I ask you to do that first. But it is a little difficult to dive into it because we know you guys watch Impulsive for fun, laughs, giggles, maybe like the guests we have on our show.
Couple giggles,
and today
couple
we're going to be
ha-has.
talking about some pretty serious stuff. So if you're not tuned into it, maybe this isn't the episode for you, but it's time this stuff is addressed, and today's the episode for that.
I think by the
That's 'cause
by
he's
mid-episode
falling
we'll
apart.
get into some other stuff, but obviously like this has to be handled, and it's been a rocky end of 2022 and a rocky start for the beginning of 2023. I'm sure tremendously for you, but also for anybody on this team. I'm going to try to take the reins of the opposing viewpoint today, as I generally do on the show. I'm going to ask you a lot of questions that may be, I don't know, easy, hard to answer, whatever.
Let me give some context to this situation. CryptoZoo is a blockchain project that I created about a year and a half ago. And the question everyone's going to be asking is why now? Why talk about this series or this project right now?
That's a fair question.
So again, this YouTuber named CryptoZoo released a 3-part series. He spent a year making it, and I'll be honest, it was very good. He is entertaining, and he's a very good storyteller. I mean, essentially, if you're making content on YouTube, I assume it's to get views and to get people watching your stuff. I get what he's doing. If you put my name in the title and you label it Logan Paul's Scam, you're going to get more views. The problem with it is that is not true. And I've made tweets here and there stating my case, but I'm going to give some context with the back and forth that I've had with CryptoZoo. So here are some receipts. Again, just for context. His name's Steven. The first time he reached out to me was on Christmas Eve after he released his series.
That's a lie.
He sent a misleading email as highlighted in my statement. He invited me on his show to come talk about CryptoZoo.
Quick interjection. We know from Twitter and YouTube and his manager, it was not the first time he reached out to him. He did reach out to him on Instagram. There was no response. Then he reached out to Logan's manager, Jeff, and then there was a really awkward call with Jeff. So to say that it's the first time he reached out was Christmas Eve, it's just factually inaccurate.
I chose not to do that because it is now clear to me that he's milking this. Again, why would he not? This is big for him. He caught a lot of traction. He gained like 500,000 subscribers, and I'm sure he got a decent amount of money pumping his Patreon. But I am not interested in
Didn't Logan also
feeding
pump it?
into that anymore. So we'll be answering the questions that hopefully he was going to ask me and that you're going to ask me today on this podcast. I invited him on Impulsive multiple times, and he has not responded. My email to him on December 27th
Did say you're going to sue him.
was, hey, Steven, saw your tweet. Since this entire narrative has unfolded on your platform, I can't imagine you'd mind having this discussion with me on mine. Of course, we wouldn't monetize. This episode of Impulsive is scheduled for January 2nd in LA. We can consider a neutral location if you respond to this email by the weekend. Best logs. He did not respond to me. I tweeted that saying I hadn't heard back, so I'd be releasing a statement. And then he sent me an email after I called him out and a text, which I thought was weird, like a cold text. Hey, Logan, recently got your number. This is CoffeeZilla. I'm forwarding the same message I sent to your email here as well. Hey, Logan, I saw your tweet saying I haven't responded, but that isn't accurate. I asked you for a comment multiple times over the course of a year. You refused. I invited you on my platform. You refused. You invited me on Impulsive. I refused. We're unfortunately at an impasse, so let me try to get us unstuck here because I think people deserve to hear from both of us. I'd like to offer you a co-live streamed interview about CryptoZoo to respond on tomorrow at 10 a.m. PST, so no one has to travel on the holidays. So there's no editing and just us talking one-on-one. This is the most fair and neutral way to do this. I will send you a video link if you agree. Here was my response. I sent him an email. Hey, Steven, just wanted to put my response to your scam allegations on your radar, linked below. Even though you broke laws, hardly substantiated your evidence, fabricated dangerously misleading falsehoods, and wrongfully accused me of scamming my fans, I'd still love to host you on Impulsive, again, unmonetized. It can even be one-on-one. Sorry, boys. I'm interested in talking about your workflow, creative process, and of course, CryptoZoo. I did get your email 2 days ago after I called out your failure to respond on Twitter regarding the live stream invitation, and you said, I asked you for comment multiple times over the course of a year. You refused. Any proof of that, or is this another lie? I searched my emails and didn't see any outreach from you until Christmas Eve 2022. You scrubbed the blockchain for a living and somehow managed to text my personal phone number yesterday. I can't imagine you didn't know / have my professional email. I do agree people deserve to hear from both of us, but truthfully, now that your motives are clear, I don't feel like feeding into your hunger for clout on your platforms. You've profited off of and gained plenty from me. I've said everything I've needed to say. The rest will be handled legally and on Impulsive with or without you while we continue to build CryptoZoo. The holidays are over, so I look forward to hearing back in a timely fashion this time. My January schedule is packed. Best, Logs.
Why did you sign off as Logs, by the way? There was a lot of shit for that.
I saw that.
Maybe,
I think it's easy to pick apart anything I do.
And people are, for sure. It's been happening the entire time.
That's my sign off. I've been signing off like that since high school.
Like
my nickname,
like
everyone calls me
floating
Logs.
pieces
My name is Logan. My nickname is
it makes
Log.
sense.
It's like
listen, I said I'm going to play the other side. The other side's asking why Logs. Can we, besides all the correspondence, that's a lot of correspondence.
That's where we left off. And I do think it's important because, and if you watch my video, hopefully you're seeing this. The guy is good. He is a very good storyteller, and he is very, very manipulative. And he's good. He's built an entire career off it. Sometimes he's more impartial than not. I think he probably has an inherent bias against me, which is reflective in his work and in his piece, which unfortunately has repercussions. If you are perpetuating falsehood and it's affecting
I'll say this now. If he sues Coffeezilla, the entire internet will turn against him. No place in internet culture has it ever been acceptable for a bigger, more powerful, more wealthy, more known person to sue someone who's not at that level. Right or wrong, internet culture does not allow that. Like if he ends up suing Coffeezilla, the internet's just going to rip him apart.
Someone's business and reputation, and it's affecting the wrong person's business and reputation, that person may take action.
So let's right off the bat, as early as possible here, talk about the two definitions and the two things that are at play. One of them being a scam, the other one being defamation, which can be libel or slander. So if someone scams a person or an organization, they deceive them in order to get something valuable for them, especially money. That is the definition of scam. So my first question, and this question was answered in his series, it was a 5-second blip that was a part of a probably hour-long of documentary, filmmaking, was how much money did you make off the sale of the coin?
Dude, this is
off CryptoZoo as a project. How much money did you make?
Yeah, this seems to be the biggest misconception, and it is disappointing.
Zero. The answer is zero. In the video, Coffeezilla made it explicitly clear that Jeff, who's Logan's manager, and Logan himself appeared to sell no CryptoZoo, and then maybe they took on some negative, experience by paying for people to do shit. But Coffeezilla did make it clear that Logan nor Jeff sold any CryptoZoo.
I think that part was glossed over so quickly. Made no money off CryptoZoo. Never sold the token. Jeff never sold the token. No money was made. No tokens were sold. And Coffeezilla even said that in his series. So to answer your question, yeah. No money was made by Jeff or I.
And just back to the flip side really quick. To me, once I heard that seemed just like a kill shot to this entire thing.
Now I'll play the other side.
Sure, and I know what you're going to say. There's a ton more. It's very complex. There's a lot of
No.
devs and all-
I empathize. I totally see why people are frustrated. I'm fucking frustrated. I've been frustrated for over a year. So I'll let you keep going. And again, while we made no money on the project, which I think kills the scam narrative immediately, there is more explaining to do.
What was your intent with CryptoZoo as a project?
I really thought it was going to be the next big thing. It was my first foray into creating a project on the blockchain. My intent was to make the next Pokemon, essentially, on the blockchain. It was purely good. I put 7 months of my time, energy, effort, all of it into this project. And when shit hit the fan, it was devastating. It was heartbreaking. I never acted with malintention. I mean, again, like what was the intent to make money? I mean, I guess maybe eventually, like if you're running a business, I'd assume any intent is to make money off of it. But like, did we ever capitalize financially off of this? Absolutely fucking not.
For people that aren't aware, can you describe the dynamic between the token and the game?
See, I feel like this is maybe not the best way to look at it, because did he personally profit? No. But there is a question of a lot of people lost a lot of money. So they don't necessarily look at it of like, oh, Logan made it, because we know there is evidence with, that's one of the nice things about blockchain. We know it is very, very clear that he didn't sell, Jeff didn't sell. I can't make that more specific, but I don't think the average person is looking at it like that. And too much of this is from his view. It's like, hey guys, what about me? I didn't make money either. And now I'm getting like drugged through the dirt. And I kind of get that, but it's just not going to resonate with people, because the average person who's watching it, especially if they lost money, they're just thinking, I lost my money. It doesn't really matter where it went. They want their money back. So maybe a better metaphor for this is, if I started a company and I was the CEO, and then there's the whole executive suite, the CFO, the CMO, whatever, all these high-level executives. If these high-level executives that I hired end up stealing from people who are in the business and I didn't know about it, and I'm still like, but no, like I didn't make any money. Well, you're still kind of the CEO of the company. It's still your organization. Like at a certain point, you can't say ignorance is bliss. You still have to be paying attention to what's going on. And I think if he took a slightly different view of trying to say, like, he should have started it off with saying, I know you people lost money, and I am doing everything in my power to create CryptoZoo into an awesome project and get you your money back. That's how this should have started. It shouldn't have started with, woe is me, because no one's going to feel bad for Logan Paul. He's world renowned. He's in the WWE. He's rich. He's done a lot of cool things. He's lived a life that is exceptional. So if you come in and say, dude, bad day for me too, it simply doesn't work. And I guess I'm not really taking away from what either side's saying here. I just think this is a vast misunderstanding of like how the community feels.
Okay. So the idea was this. Yeah, maybe I should give some context to what the game is. So you buy these eggs on the blockchain, and you can hatch them into what are called base animals. I think there were like 14 or 15 of them, and then you can breed your base animals with each other to create fun-looking viral hybrid offspring that have a rarity scale. If you hatch a rare animal and you breed it with another rare animal, and it yields a rare hybrid animal, that animal then yields and collects a token the longer you hold it. Then when you release it into the wild, you accrue your yield. Does that make sense? That was the concept.
Got it.
And it was based off the idea that people could create these fun animals that didn't exist. And this was another part of CryptoZoo that got ripped apart. People seem to really discount the art, which I felt truthfully wasn't fair.
I was kind of in the middle on that one. It was
Do
very.
you know how?
Okay,
Do you
it was
know how
very
hard
basic.
It is?
Yes, I
Do you
know.
know how hard it is
let me
to merge animals that do exist into an animal that doesn't exist and make it look like a real animal.
I'm gonna
like
ask
like
you-
I'll just say it right now, bro. If you take an animal from CryptoZoo and like a fucking picture of a monkey wearing a hat and go ask like someone on the street, like, hey, which of these is more captivating to you? Something tells me the animal that doesn't exist that looks like a real hybrid animal is probably gonna win.
Even if someone out there is skeptical or hesitant to call it some sort of insane artistic expression, they at least probably have to agree that it falls within industry, like in the area of industry standards for NFTs at the time. I mean, look at some of the other projects. I mean, shout out Gary, but like, dude, like.
How dare you?
I'm
Do
just
not
saying, bro.
Fucking insult V friends
or Doodles or whatever. I mean, whatever project you want to bring up.
That's
right
why
now, whether it's
I
apes
found
or whatever.
That's why I found this argument a little. I felt wasn't quite fair. I'll listen to them, but like, man, if you were to interview and ask my artist what they thought of people just ripping their work to shreds, and by the way, some of them do this. Some of them are like post actively on Reddit hybrid animals, and the hybrid animals thread on Reddit is hilarious and has a bunch of likes and people commenting on it. But the moment that I say it's something that I'm doing, it doesn't work in that context.
I think it was
Once again, it's too much of the like, boo-hoo, it's harder to be me. Does he have a valid point? If I make a hybrid animal, it's probably more funny than if Logan Paul's like, well, I made one and like, why don't people like it as much? Okay, that's fair. But like, they've now wasted too much. This has nothing to do with it. Like, imagine if every person running a business are like, dude, give me a break. It's tough. Like, dude, I'm trying. Imagine if that's how Elon Musk was. They're like, hey man, what's going on? Why are you not like landing rockets back down so we could reuse them? Why are you not like going to Mars? Why are you not going to the moon? What's going on? And he's like, dude, it's hard. No shit, it's hard. That's what entrepreneurship is. That's what business is if you could provide a value that other people are not doing, or if you could do it in some unique mannerism, that's how you succeed. So like, and also art's incredibly subjective. The fact that they're spending any time on like, if the art's good or not, I mean, I think you need to actually get into like more of the alleged fraud things.
was shined in a people wouldn't.
No. That was the first.
Trying to stick a. When I'm looking at this from my point of view, bro, I think you guys are kind of like, you're seeing it from your guys' point of view, which is obvious.
Let's go,
it's your
George.
point of view, and you are not a scammer. You don't hurt people. You don't do these type of things. So it's gonna affect your heart because you didn't do that. And for the world to look at you in that type of way, it's very drowning. It feels like you can't breathe because people are already painting you out to be something you're not. But put a pin in that. Over here are people that root for you, that look at you like somebody they want to be like, they want to achieve like. And so when they invested in your project, and they're remember, they don't have our lifestyle, so they're working paycheck to paycheck. So when they go, fuck yeah, Logan's involved in this, I know it's gonna win because I've watched this guy win, and I want to be like this fucking guy. So I'm gonna invest my hard-earned money. From their point of view, I get your guys'
Very
point of view because
based.
you're dealing with a legal team, you're dealing with all the people that did you wrong. But from their stance, they go, how dare you go and open up 2 other projects when I just wasted my hard-earned money on something that I believed you would do. So this is a point of view that they don't care what you feel like and what CoffeeZilla feels like. They want to demand answers for their own money.
100%.
So what do you say to the people that watched you make the project where you're taking pictures and all the other projects? Yep. How does it feel for you in your seat where your team's saying, hey, shut up, don't bring this up. We're going to bring this back in the future and all the answers will be explained. How does it feel knowing that you couldn't speak up in time and now you look like this villain? And no disrespect, you look like a piece of shit to the people that are like, yo, fuck this guy sitting on millions of dollars, always trying to get attention. And now he doesn't give a fuck about us. So he's not going to speak out about it until this other fucking dude's going to speak out. And now this cocksucker is going to talk now.
Great question.
Very good question.
The answer is fucking heartbreaking, George. I'll get emotional even speaking about it right now, but this is what broke me. People relied on me to create a project. And when shit wasn't working out and I found out the extent of just how bad things were behind the scenes, I had to rely on my team. I crumbled internally. And the advice was, while actual legal process was going on because of criminal investigation taking place that Coffeezilla highlighted in his series, I had to stay silent. And for a fucking year, I'm hounding Jeff. How do we make this right? What's the status of the game?
But they
Where
don't
are
see
we
that.
at?
They don't see that. That's crazy.
The engineer stole the code, who was hired by a fucking con man, a guy that I found out to be a con man, a guy that I had trusted, not just a guy that I had trusted, a guy that billionaires had trusted, a guy that fooled the Mormon Church and the New York Yankees. And now in hindsight, 1 + 1 = fucking 2. I get that. And the advisor, again, that I trusted, was selling against my buyers, people that actually wanted to play this game. It was like a mountain. It was like a mountain that collapsed one after the other. This massive forest fire would come up. I thought we put it out, and then something else would happen, and something else would happen, and then my legal team goes, "Yo, there is criminal investigation going on. It is best to stay silent at this moment."
Mm. So I have another question. I understand your point of view because I'm your friend. I actually was with you when you found out, and I saw how like your face turned white and you slid up against the fridge when you found out. I was there, so that's why I could boldly, with my chest out, be like, "Bro, I watched when this guy found the news." But fuck Coffeezilla, fuck you. No joke. What do we do for the people that were fucked?
I and my team, Jeff, and I'd like you to sit in, Jeff, are working. We are at work and have been working to make this game. And that's part of the solution. Deliver the fucking project, right? And that's never stopped. There have been massive road bumps and massive obstacles along the way. But that was always the prerogative. Coffeezilla making a series or not, the game is being made. He just assumed we gave up on it, which is not true. However, the answer is yes, George. I'm not a fucking scammer. I have the best intentions, and I will make this right for the people who believed in me. You know how adamant I was about fixing all of this and making this right.
Sure.
And for a year, I was told I couldn't say anything. And then Coffeezilla series came out, and I fucking called you guys, and I said, I'm making a statement. I don't give a fuck.
Yep.
I spent days writing this thing, figuring out how I could poke the obvious hole.
Days of writing it, and he didn't realize he should say sorry to the community.
Holes in Coffeezilla's defamation and arguments and manipulation of this story, because at the end of the day, he told a story. Some of it's true, some of it's not. I don't know what to believe from his stuff, and I don't know what not to believe. I found out stuff. I found out things watching his series. Like, dude, I was at the airport when I watched the part where he said Jake's had stolen,
Of course.
$6
I was like, what?
$6 million. I don't know if that's true or not, but I knew he was a bad actor, hence why we kicked him off the fucking team immediately when we found out he was only in it for the money.
Prerogatives, yeah. Things fucking fell apart, from Zach to trying to find new devs, realizing that our first lead dev couldn't perform, and then realizing that now there's an investigation going on.
But also you have to understand that it's not simple. I mean, he's trying to bridge the gap here between protecting his client, protecting a project that he's been a part of, getting out whatever information is possible. I've said this a million times. The internet loves to oversimplify very fucking complex issues.
Here's
also
on
true.
On top of
That's
the complex issue that we dealt with, which were issues with people, the blockchain technology, and this is something that's brand new, and what Logan ideated in his head of a really cool idea is actually somewhat complex.
Which is, by the way,
sure.
hard for me to swallow.
Okay, and
I have a vision and an
hard-
idea of these things, and then I say, Jeff, here's what I want to make. Here's what I want to do. And then people are put in place to attempt to make that happen. And when it was found out that either A, they had ill intent, or B, were incapable of doing it, and then shit really hit the fan, what do I do?
I actually have an answer for that. When you're on the top rope at WWE and you're going like this after a crazy show and the audience is going crazy. When you're bringing Prime into the table and people are drinking it, being like, how the fuck is this product this good? When you're doing these absolute, like, we're watching a superhero kill these side quests day after day after day after day, none of these quests would be completed without your team. And when you win, we celebrate together. But what I need this team to start doing is when you guys take a dip, you got to stop pointing the fingers at each other.
When all this broke, when we were in Qatar, I'll kind of remember this. We were in the spa one day, and I saw the pain in your, and this, like I said, this is not going to turn into a fucking victim thing. I just want to point this out. I saw this pain in your face, bro.
Feels
and
like
this
it.
like emptiness in your fucking eyes when all this was breaking. And I remember thinking to myself, having been through a couple things, very minor in comparison to the ones you've gone through and are going through now, where I was railroaded by the internet on something that just simply wasn't true. I've been through a chunk of shit in my life, but I honestly don't know if I recall feeling like that. The feeling of not being able to say, yo, this is not what happened. You guys have it wrong. Even though you and everyone around you knows that you're being fucked and being railroaded by an incomplete or unsubstantiated story, is one of the most painful fucking things in the entire world. It's terrible.
Where coffee fucked up is by targeting me as some malicious, evil supervillain. If he had told this story objectively and told the story without vilifying me, regardless, we're still making this right. But in my opinion, that's where it got twisted and hurt the most. Dude, I'm sitting in the seat solely because of my fans. I love them. I'll take any picture you want, unless I'm at dinner. That's my one rule. I'll take any picture you want.
Now you better get your ass up. You better wipe your face and get up. That might be the rule.
I'll listen to the feedback. I'll see it. I want to put smiles on you guys' faces. It's why I do what I do. I love being able to come on these platforms and express myself every week. And if it fucking hurts that mission statement that I've had since I was 8 fucking years old posting online was tainted by this dude who had an agenda, who is normally very good at his job, but had an agenda.
I think this is sadly the only direction you could take. Take this really fucking hard on the chin. Learn from your mistakes. Learn that you have to.
I mean, George, we did.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. So it's kind of like the Johnny Depp thing. Like, he had to kind of eat shit for a long time until the truth came out. And so right now you have to go into this either court, but regardless, the jury is the audience.
Yep.
And so I'm trying to bridge that way to show your reality. And your reality is the same dude that would turn to me and drop a $500,000 deal with somebody because he goes, I don't eat fast food. I'm not promoting fast food. So if you were money hungry, you wouldn't give a fuck if it was hurting anybody. You would take the money.
Dog. It is shocking to me that motherfuckers think I'm out here in Puerto Rico with a cork board, tax, string, graphic images, going, here's how we're gonna scam. This is how I'm gonna make my $1 million this time, motherfucker. We're gonna. I'm not even.
Sounds like a meat. It sounds like a meat. No, it sounds like a meat.
Logan Paul admits to everything Coffeezilla said.
Bro, Jake, I was talking to Jake about this over Christmas break. I'm glad I got some time to spend with my brother. And he's like, I was like, are you aware of what's happening right now? And he goes, dude, I skipped past the video. He's like, I know you didn't fucking scam anyone. And I go, yeah, but like, everyone thinks I did.
Well, this is what I see, and I could be completely wrong. Biting off more than you chew is kind of almost there, but I don't see it being complete because you're doing things that people don't do. So I don't expect you to stop doing what your nature is to do, and you want to see that new country that's not there or build that thing that's not there. The only thing that would just make a tweak of a difference is you're so creative that you're like, here's the idea, here's the process, here's the vision. Now this person's gonna do this, person's gonna do this. I'm gonna move on, and you're a creative. So all I would say is now is just like the dev team, pick one person that is your right hand, and make sure that person is every day. If this guy shits or eats a sandwich at lunch, I want to fucking know.
I mean, George, again, we did. It's part of the reason originals worked so well. We found the guy. and he's fucking
Team.
good. And we found a team that we can actually rely on to get
Trust,
things
most
done.
important,
And then
trust.
also that was a learning process for me because originals is a relatively easy project. I think it's easy to understand anyways, right?
Yeah.
One picture
Not
goes
easy build.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. One picture goes
So
live a day. It's a 24-hour auction. The next goes up. This thing took months to build, and there were so many delays, and I was frustrated with the build. But
Me again.
as is always going to be the case,
Sure,
Jeff,
I'd
because
take it.
I'm reporting directly to
I'd
you,
take
and you're reporting directly to
Of
me.
course. But it's
But
that's
it
the
was
learning.
it was a learning for me in that. Fuck, dude, tech is hard. Holy fucking shit. I remember ESPN was down the one time we were trying to watch
Thanks
one of
for
the
remembering it.
one of the biggest fights ever.
No,
What?
tennis,
The
Open.
U.S. Open.
US Open. ESPN was down, ESPN Plus or whatever the fuck. And Jeff goes, "Hey, just so you know, this is ESPN. It's one of the biggest content syndication organizations in the world, and they don't even have this shit down."
But we also
and here
don't,
we are.
also don't know whether it was the tech that was sending it into ESPN or was it ESPN.
The point is, tech is hard. Tech is hard. I realized that and learned that the hard way. And so, yeah, I guess to kind of answer your question, I'm a lot more cognizant now of exactly how hard it is to make the stupid little visions that I have in my head come to life.
Okay, so wrapping this up for at least I think, right? Because I'm just curious what else is there's going to be about this, like where this goes, where the story goes once it's been determined that there was not malintent, a scam did not take place. There was a misfire or some sort of, malpractice on behalf of some of the people involved in the project who will be held accountable. And there is a plan moving forward. Does it sound like those are the four main pillars of what's happening here?
Exactly. I would say there's been a plan moving forward.
A roadmap.
Yeah. Coffeezilla happened to make this series and
In the middle of it.
and now it appears reactionary, but this has been happening. So that's where the defamation piece comes into play, which is number 5 and 6. We've given Zilla part 4. He's probably going to milk the shit out of this. He's probably going to talk to more people who lost money, and that's where this also gets tricky because I'm not sure what he's fabricating or if people are genuine about what they're saying because he doesn't verify backgrounds or, like I said, substantiate any evidence. So he's probably gonna put people who have lost here on a pillar and highlight them. That's what I would do if I were him. I'd milk the shit out of this, and like I said, he's probably going to. He's good. He's very good. But part 6 is the more he says and the more he continues to spread this misinformation that this was any sort of con or scam, the more I have for the lawsuit that I am filing. The defamation lawsuit that is fucking happening because this is wrong. This is fucking wrong. And there's a reason. There's a reason he won't come on this show. And he knows it's because he can't lie to me with his chest out while sitting in front of me.
And saying that you are a scammer.
Fuck,
You are a fraud.
Dog.
What about the people that say, like, why don't you just do it live on his platform?
I am not feeding into this anymore on his shit because he did not change the course of my direction at all. He happened to make this series. It's not changing what we have been doing and are doing behind the scenes.
Yeah.
What he did do is got me to speak about it. And I'm actually grateful for that.
I was about to say this is kind of like a good light because
I'm actually grateful for that. I do thank Coffeezilla for shining a light on
But I'm suing
what
him.
even he highlighted and made in his year's worth of research in a 3-part series is that this situation is so fucked, so beyond fucked. You could make an entire documentary out of it. In fact, he did. But now I'm in a place where I actually do have to thank him for shining light on this. He just messed up by pointing the finger 100% at me in saying that there was any sort of fraud or scam taking place intentionally. Not even taking place intentionally, just taking place on my behalf.
Why did you block him on Twitter?
It's like a little gnat. It's like a little fucking annoying gnat, and it bothers me. He won. He got to me, bro. He's the most formidable opponent I've had. I'm not kidding. The guy's good. He's
very smart.
He's very smart. He manipulates and twists the truth just the way he wants.
Well,
to
you were
get people
also
to believe a certain thing. He's
tweeting
good.
and
I
saying
think
dumb things.
It's marketing.
It wasn't like
in a way
chess
hiding
match.
behind the veil of I don't make money off this platform. I'm doing God's work. I'm doing justice, by the way. Go sign up to my Patreon. Go join my Patreon. We're gonna see the behind the scenes of my $10 million studio. $10 million studio. You got $10 million? Where did that money come from? How?
That's a weird
I don't
joke.
think so. Hal?
That's a
I
really
think
weird
he
joke.
would be saying that
He
sarcastically.
he rented it.
So you're saying he embellished or like rounded up?
No, I think he just says it sarcastically. It's like a joke.
It's in his descriptions on his Patreon, which I joined. He kicked me off though.
He refunded him. He refunded his money.
It's actually funny. He kicked me off, and he had a couple zingers on Twitter. He kicked me off and was like, "Who knows where that money came from?"
Oh, I'm gonna be honest. You got washed. You've been getting washed.
He smoked me.
Washed on Twitter.
I'm
bro.
telling you, he's fucking
also-
good. He's a very formidable opponent.
he's
If
good.
I were him and I didn't like me in the same way that he doesn't like me, and also realizes how much he can gain from putting me in his thumbnail and his title, I'd probably be doing the same thing.
Okay, question, and just to bring this up because I think it's a good transition point. Regardless of how strong his point was, or some of the points he made, or how he was able to spin it, whatever you want to say, or whoever wants to say it, there is always and will always be an army that is ready for Logan Paul to make a minor mistake. Now, it was so timely and convenient that the 3-part series dropped when you were already boiling in an unholy baptism of shit because of what you had said on the show before it.
Maybe Logan Paul was taken advantage of by other people. It sounds like he was taken advantage of, but I don't think he's making his case any stronger in like trying to say, I'm the victim here. You're not, man. You're just not. You might think you are, but in the grand scheme of things, this is an L that you can take a lot of other people can't take. So do I think Logan Paul is 100% to blame? No, but he deserves some sort of blame. Like that was like those questions. I don't think George and Mike and Jeff came up with those questions. Those are very much, we're going to ask these questions because like it was very, very favorable to him. I also don't necessarily know how I feel about Coffeezilla. They almost need to go on someone else's show. I don't think there's a way that either of them are going to go on the other person's show whatsoever.